Hey, cold open time. What's good, Rat?
Back. I've arrived. I've returned. I've
Back
been
from a
resurrected.
long rest.
You can't you can't get rid of me that easy. I say to myself in the mirror. I say threateningly to myself, knife pointed to my neck. I'm alive. We exist. Here we are again. Um,
We are
and you
back
know
in
what?
town.
I think overall we're back in town. We're feeling it. Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it. Are you feeling it?
You, I feel it in my heart. I
Hell
feel it in
yeah.
the deep recesses of my cold and dead void. That was my heart. But you know what? It's fine.
Yep. I guess without any further
Anyway,
ado, this is the show, folks. This is the show that you're watching. Controller Slot B, episode 30. I actually remembered the episode number this time because it's a big one.
didn't
We've got
have
a
to look at it.
nice we got a nice well-structured episode here for you today. A lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of things to get into. How are you doing, Rat? What's good?
I'm doing fantastic, Vox. I'm trying to shake myself awake, exist. I'm in it to win it. This is here we go. Clap.
Hell yeah.
As as you guys know, I'm a salty rat. And Vox, that is your cue.
Oh, yeah, I'm Voxel64, the guy who fucks this part up all the time.
We've not. I don't think we've had that part yet.
We have not had that part, but it's gonna happen more often than you might think.
It's just dead. Just staring lovingly into yourself. Okay. We live. We exist.
We're alive.
So here we are. So how's your week? How's things been?
It's been pretty solid. Been diving into a bunch of VR Minecraft with the boys. Solid stuff. A lot of modded stuff. I've been using the rats mod and gaining a rat army over time. They can fly now. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that? Wait, they can fly?
Yeah, you can give them wings. You can make a dragon rat even, and it'll shoot fire at your enemies while flying.
I I have never been so ready for a game in my entire life.
It's
I think I need to
insane.
get back into Minecraft modding.
Get back into Minecraft modding. Do it. The rats mod is insane. I have them automating a bunch of shit for me.
I think we're back. Wait, the rats up.
Yeah, you can
What
use
do you
them.
mean?
They farm for me. They make cheese for me automatically. I've got a bunch of rats running around milking cows and making cheese. Like I've constructed this tower with like rat cages and rat tubes and whatnot, and they just run around on different floors, depositing things in chests and curdling cheese and milking cows and all sorts of shit, man. It's insane.
I have no idea.
Through the tubes.
I'm losing my mind. The entire the see the thing is I've always been a fan of Technic. I've always been a huge fan of Technic, right?
Right.
And I like automation. I love machines. I love the little pipes. I like the ability that I can make potato knishes. All of them are fantastic. Very excited about all that. But now I think the fact that rats can automate your Minecraft economy, your Minecraft world, I think there is a reasonable competitor for Feed the Beast. So I'm gonna keep in mind.
Yeah, it's
That sounds
insane.
awesome.
Speaking of things
Oh
we've been
god.
doing recently, Rat, I saw that you were doing some Dark Souls this morning. How's Dark Souls been to you?
I hurt. I've spent so long on one of the boss fights this morning. And then I found out I think there was a little bit of a glitch in my game. But I've gone through the first part of that game so many times, like so many times, that I can probably almost do it blindfolded, right? But there's a wall where I hit that wall and I'm just like, nope, that's the end of it. I can't progress. Excuse me, I can't progress too much further than this. So that's been a very it's been a very fun run in. But you know
Heck
what?
yeah.
This is how we at. Oh God. Excuse me. So what are we working on today? What do we have, Fox?
Well,
You take the show.
we've got an amazing structure here today for you folks, and this isn't gonna be like your normal average controller slot B episode where we have no idea what we're doing. I mean, Like you might think that based on the first 5-ish minutes of this show, but oh no 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 no, it steps up from here, folks. All right, uh, this week I've spent a lot of time with full body tracking and making that work and operate on a level I'm happy with, and it's amazing. It works great. It was a troubleshooting nightmare for a few days, but once I got over that, once I'm over that hill, it's fine. Because most of it is amounted to pushing hardware together that really isn't meant to be compatible, but, you know, through third-party fan-made software, it works. But
So what
it's...
you're saying?
Yeah?
Go on.
I was gonna say that it's expensive. It's particularly expensive in my case because I don't have outside-in tracking, so I had to get base stations and whatnot for that. And, it's very expensive, but I mean I've already spent literally over $1,000 on VR stuff at this point. But you know, I want to slide past that because that fucking that's a whole thing in itself. Uh, these particular trackers don't have much weight to them. They're very light. They're very flexible. The straps that they make you put around your feet and your waist are very breathable, elastic. It's a very nice time. The only problem I have is battery life because they only last like 4 to 5 hours at a time. When you know I spend like 8 to 9 hours in VR chat most nights, so that doesn't usually last the whole way. But it's hard to go back to not having that by now. Yeah.
I was gonna say, wait, hold on. Like I hate to interject here. You said only 4 to 5 hours, and I recoiled for a quick second. It didn't occur to me. What is the actual battery life on like a standard VR set? Anyway,
The headset, in my case, the headset lasts about, considering I'm using a wireless headset, most wired headsets don't have this problem. It's mostly controller battery limitations. But it lasts a cool 8 hours, but I've got a charging cable long enough, that way I can keep going if I feel like it, and a battery bank. The controllers last around 12 hours on a good day, and that's an easy recharge over like half an hour. The most annoying part is remembering to charge everything, really, because I've got to charge the trackers, the headset, the controller, and it's a whole ordeal. But no, yeah, I spend way more time with a screen strapped to my face than I'm proud to admit. But
I mean, when do we integrate Vox directly into the internet? When do
listen,
we
listen,
replace
Gabe
your brain
Newell,
with the CPU?
Gabe Newell's been talking about brain interfacing and full dive VR recently, and it's really exciting me because I'm like, yeah, I could just like not have a screen attached to my face and still be in the virtual realm. I am on all levels except physical at this point. I've become one with my inner rat. There have been days. There have been days where at 2 p.m. I'll put on the headset and it'll be like 2 a.m. or 2 or 3 a.m. and I'll realize I haven't eaten anything. I should probably eat. And I'll pull the headset off. It was daylight when I put it on, and it is now pitch black and the sun is about to come up. Like
Jesus
it gets
Christ.
that bad some days, just because you know, it makes you lose track of time. Anyway, back on topic. VR full body trackers, amazing, good stuff. They are a troubleshooting nightmare in my case, but still a luxury item. Again, most people are sane and have a job and have to not be in VR all day. But I, being the suspiciously wealthy furry that I am, get away with being able to do that and can afford it. Barely. I have eaten nothing but ramen in 2 weeks. Please help me. But no. This is great. It's wonderful. But if you don't spend that much time in VR, if you get like maybe a few hours of VR in a day, I highly suggest that you don't go for this.
It sounds like a headache. It sounds like one of those things that if you have the time for it, it becomes like your huge hobby. Like there's people who spend like $1,000 on trains. And like I'm gonna be real with you. If some people spend $1,000 on fursuits, if you're gonna spend $1,000 on something, if you just want to be a rat online, this is the way to do it. But
Yeah.
it's definitely not something that you just want to jump into. I think this was brought up about it being a luxury item. It was brought up that the sales for Half-Life Alyx wasn't as high as anticipated, right? And the main reason being that VR isn't a luxury item. It's a big investment for like having the best experience possible, right?
Right.
the fact that it's another $300 or so on top of your gaming rig or whatever, it's going to be a long while before that becomes something accessible to everyone. But if you've got the time for it, if you know, enjoy yourself. If you decide to jump into it, I think it's 100% worth it. Maybe not VR tracking because of how much work goes into that and how make sure everything's all covered. But you know what? I think it's a good time. I think it's a good use of your money.
Yeah, one thing I want to touch on though, also, wonderful artist friend of mine put together a 3D model of the rat. I don't know if you've seen an updated version of my rat model. It's the one in the icon right now. And for the listening public, you can find it on Twitter and whatnot. It exists, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and I've figured out that it has most of what I would need to use it with Face Rig, about, like, 40% of it. Like, I might have to throw a little bit of extra money at someone to rig the rest of it up for me, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But after that, maybe VTuber rat stream is upon us. Who knows, really?
Ready for that? Brett 2021. Brett becomes a VTuber. Hey!
I've become a rat man. It's insane. But no, VR is expensive, and like I think my thoughts on full body extend to VR as a whole. In that, like, if you're not deep into video games at this point, and or just don't want a particularly, or if you're after a particularly new immersive experience, then yeah, pick up like a $200 or $300 like Windows mixed reality or a Quest or something, and have a go at it and see if it's your thing. But don't do what I do currently, because I know I'm gonna. The only reason I spent the money on these trackers and whatnot is because I know I'm gonna get my use out of them. Like, I know I'm gonna spend like at least the full battery charge on them a day, so it's not a huge deal for me personally, but I'm sure for someone who isn't that interested in that, and again, like you mentioned, model trains. If I were to get into model trains, I wouldn't buy the most expensive model train that I could immediately. Trains are fucking dope, though, by the way. If you're not into trains, go look at some train videos, you nerd. But no. Don't recommend it unless you have the money to spend. And that stretches to, like, pretty much all of VR. Anyway, we've spent like the last 10 minutes of the show talking about VR stuff. Let's skedaddle along here. What else do you got for us, Rat? What's going on here?
I was entranced with that, dude. I don't know about that. Hey, clap. Sonic 2 is happening. Not the game, the movie. It's doing it. It's coming out there. It's looking good. Hey, how excited are we about Tails, Vox?
Extremely. I am extremely excited to see how they play this dynamic with a younger Sonic and Tails. Absolutely.
Right. You heard that? You hear that, everyone? We got Tails' we got Miles, Tails, Prowler. That's the number one fan. Vox is the one to go to if you have questions about Sonic the Hedgehog lore that involves Tails specifically, please email Vox directly. Vox will go ahead and take it. They'll answer it on a thing. You'll get a personal email. That's a lie.
You will get a personal email from me. I cannot guarantee how much of the information I give you will be correct and how much of it will be me just making things up that sound a bit funny.
That's called fanfiction.
That is called fanfic. Damn it! You people are making me a furry 2 weeks ago, and now you're trying to get me into writing fan fiction. How can you do this to me, Rat?
I had. Go ahead and use that. Put that clip out there. You heard it, everyone.
I will write Tails fan fiction, apparently.
Anyway, did he? But I'm fucked up. All right, but hey, this movie's actually coming out rather quick. It was coming out next year. That's a 2-year turnaround for a 3D movie, since the first one. I'm sure they started production on it, or at least pre-production on it, before the original movie was released. But we're coming on the 1-year anniversary of the first Sonic movie, which was of all things, I guess, a Valentine's Day movie. Mm-hmm. So, how many people do you think actually went out with their Valentines to go ahead and like see that movie?
I didn't go out with my Valentine, but I did hang out with the boys that day and go hit up Sonic the Hedgehog on the 14th. Most of whom, including me, were in a relationship at the time, and they were pissed, but we didn't care. Sonic the Hedgehog time, baby.
Who do you think? God, do you see any couples at the movie theater?
We did. And that
Oh
that
my
shocked me. I
god.
was transitioning into that. Yeah, there were people taking people on dates to go see Sonic the Hedgehog, a movie that no one was certain would be good the day of, by the way.
Can you imagine?
So
Oh my god.
imagine taking your date to something that has like a 75% odd chance of just being an absolute dumpster fire.
And it being good. I can guarantee you there's when in 20 years or so when or X number of years or so when these crazy teenagers are out there uh smooching and they're telling the kids how they met. It's like, oh, your father went in and took me to the Sonic movie.
Sonic
And
the
that was it. That was
Hedgehog.
their first date. That was someone's first date. Sonic movie was someone's first date. And
Sonic movie was someone's first date, and because of that, they will have a Sonic themed wedding at some point, and that's upsetting to me.
oh my god, this is not where I was expecting this topic to go. So we have some details about the Sonic 2 movie. We
Details.
know that, yeah, some details, not a whole lot.
A couple of details. One in particular.
We've got the design. We've got the design, the splash screen teaser. It looks really cute, and it has a slap and remix, right, which is very cool. That we may toss that into the description if you care about it, or you can just look up. Hey,
In fact, the
pause
movie
the
itself has got details in it.
oh my god,
You were saying?
you're hurting my feelings here. Hey, pause the podcast and go straight to the YouTube. Go ahead and look up Sonic 2 teaser, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Colleen Osanashi is the voice for Tails in that movie. We're very excited about Tails happening, and Sonic's role is being reprised by Ben Schwartz. Eggman, the round man himself, is evidently going to be a bigger part of the movie, because I think Jim Carrey makes an incredible Eggman. What do you think about Eggman and is Jim Carrey?
I think I think if you cut Jim Carrey's scenes out of the Sonic movie, it becomes 20% less good. Uh, they're a nice reprieve, and I like his interpretation of Eggman. I don't know if you caught this, but there's a vague homoeroticism between him and like the agent that keeps following him around, whose name is escaping me at the moment. And I hope that returns. I hope we get more of that.
Oh God! Oh,
I don't know how much of that you remember. Jim Carrey Eggman fucks, and I won't let you forget it.
What a powerful statement.
But
Oh,
no, yeah, at the end of the Sonic movie, he was putting on this very game Eggman voice with like the fire, and he had like the whole mustache and the bald thing going on, and I'm very excited to see where they take that.
I hope he just becomes a big one. I hope someone drops a Twitter.com reference into that one. But like, when does that meme end? When does that go?
That
Where
meme
does
never ends. That meme is
Oh,
eternal.
God. Hey, Fox.
Yeah.
I think we've said everything we could possibly say. I think leaving on Eggman fucks is the most powerful move we can make as far as this topic goes. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think it's so powerful, I might put it in the episode title.
Oh my god! Can you even put? Yeah, you can.
I can.
Yeah.
No one's gonna stop me.
I think you can stop.
I don't have advertisers to answer to here, and that's the scary part. You people should be scared of what I could do with the power of episode titles.
By the way, if you want to sponsor us, yell at us. We'll do it. Winky face. Hey Sega, you know what's up. Please answer my emails.
Please answer my email.
Oh god. Hey, how's E3 looking like?
E3 is looking different this year. So last year, recap for people who aren't as exactly in the loop on that sort of thing, or maybe forgot like I did, E3 just didn't happen last year. Nothing with the E3 brand on it happened last year. Which is okay, because most companies resorted to doing their own thing, like they normally would anyway. But this year, E3 is coming back, baby! We're getting E3 again! Let's do it! And there are going to be studios like Bethesda and whatnot who can't really afford or do not want to do their own unsponsored event. And they're going to be doing some cool stuff there. And it's going to be an all-online event. Because, you know, the world. If you're not sure why it's an online-only event, take a look outside for a moment, will you? But no.
Take a look outside.
It's yeah. You see the like Molotov cocktail that is being thrown at your window currently. Yeah, that would explain it.
Oh, that's
No,
a new
yeah.
one.
um. Anyway, no, because of COVID reasons. Because somehow as a nation we haven't gotten past this. Because collective IQ is lower than most of us would like to admit. Let's skate past that though. E3 is all online. Uh, Most likely no Sony or Nintendo. Well, Nintendo for sure, because they do their own Nintendo Direct thing, and they've been doing that since like 2013. But Sony is a little iffy. And last year, I believe it was like this time last year that we got more info on the PlayStation 5. Or not this time last year, but closer to like E3 time. They were like, hey, we're doing PlayStation 5. And then later that year, they're like, yeah, here's PlayStation 5. Which are still hard to find, by the way, apparently. How? How, Sony? But no, an ESA representative says they're bringing it back. It's gonna be awesome. They're gonna have more news for us recently, or soon-ish, on what days the event will be and what studios are gonna be lined up where for what conferences, and it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to hear about the Elder Scrolls 6 maybe sometime. Please, Todd Howard, please, will you do this for me just one time?
I don't. The thing is, I'm very excited about seeing what in-house E3 will do. Sony and Nintendo is going to be out, like you said. But what do you think the fact that I think E3 is becoming more and more of a Microsoft forward event. What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, I didn't mention Microsoft. Microsoft is stuck firm to the E3 thing because they're Microsoft. If Xbox fails, they've got like 2,000 other revenue sources. It's not a big deal. Xbox falls and Bill Gates laughs is how that goes. But no, Microsoft is stuck steadfast to E3 and single-handedly kept it alive. If we're being honest for a moment, they come on stage, they show us a car maybe sometimes, and remember when they did that? They did that twice, by the way.
They showed a car.
Yeah, they just pulled a car on stage for Forza, and they like dropped leaves in the crowd one year. I don't. It's insane. But no, Microsoft goes big, and it's always cool to see when game companies try to go big and show things off. And I'm really excited for what Microsoft might have to show us this year, because there's not outside of Game Pass. And even if you own a good especially if you own a decent PC, there's almost no reason to get an Xbox One or Xbox Series S or X, either one.
Mm-hmm. That's good shit though. Like
looks like good shit. I'm hoping we get some exclusive. Oh, has Halo Infinite come out yet? Is that out yet? I'm not a big Halo guy, so I haven't been following that. I know we got a trailer for it. Yeah?
Halo Infinite is definitely not out.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm hoping we hear more about Halo Infinite then, because I've been slowly trying to dip my toes in the water that is Halo, but that pond is like 2 inches wide and like 1,000 feet deep, and I'm very scared. But no, I hope we hear more about that. I can't think of any other exclusives they have off the top of my head that I'd be interested in. But I'm hoping they announce more exclusives, and I hope they announce a bunch of Game Pass stuff, because I do use Game Pass. Game Pass is good.
Game Pass in general has just been. I think Game Passes are a really good idea. I've mentioned this before. The Game Pass is if you don't want to buy full games, Game Passes are great ideas, right? Because you can go ahead and, especially if you're like me who plays too many games. I'm not very smart, so like a revolving door of games is just a good idea.
Right.
Well, whatever. Now we know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Hey.
What else you got? What's going on?
What do we know about Jeff Keighley, though?
Oh, Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley, last year, Game Award man. Jeff Keighley's an excellent writer, and he tries so hard. But the Game Awards have just slowly become Mountain Dew the advertisement in a lot of ways. Not even specifically for Mountain Dew, but you get my gist here.
I'm I mean, if you're a gamer, you drink Mountain Dew. That's just how it is.
They started Game Fest. Jeff Keighley helped start Game Fest last year, and he's working on it, and it's great, and he's doing it again this year. I don't know much about the event as a whole, but hey, more video game content is always good. I'm down for that.
So, so Jeff Keighley, I went ahead and took a glance at Jeff Keighley, right? Is it just me? And I'm gonna put this into our little doc here, right?
I'm not sure.
I've never seen a picture of Jeff Keighley, right? Never understood Jeff Keighley. I'm glad Jeff Keighley is back. Can we talk about how Jeff Keighley kind of looks like a husk of a human being?
Oh, Jeff Keighley is hollow inside. All right, it's very clear.
This human being, he doesn't look like, he looks like his skin isn't fitting properly.
Like,
I'm sure he has a lot of fun doing what he's doing though.
God, look into his eyes. You could just see it. He's like, if I have to sell one more bag of Doritos at the Game Awards, I'm gonna be so angry.
If these motherfuckers force another Mountain Dew bottle in my hand, I'm gonna kill someone. And you know what? I got it.
God, somebody get this guy some sunglasses. Like, if he were wearing a pair of sunglasses, his appearance would improve like tenfold. I'm not even gonna fool around about that.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I accept it. I accept that entirely.
I'm pretty sure if you put sunglasses on him and he just stops smiling, he'll look like Duke Nukem. Give him a pair of sunglasses and a cigar, will you?
I want those tips frosted.
Oh my God! Make him into Guy Fieri.
Oh, the world's most violent Guy Fieri.
Gamer Guy Fieri.
Oh baby! All right, that's good.
All right. Hey, what the hell is happening in the realm of Kingdom Hearts, Rat? What's going on there?
So we were talking about exclusives not too long ago. This is a different kind of exclusive. Hey, Kingdom Hearts happening on PC. It's very exciting. It's very exciting for people who are looking into Kingdom Hearts, or the people who have been playing Kingdom Hearts for basically forever, right? I had the original Kingdom Hearts one at one point in time. It's sitting in my house back in Naples or whatever. It's very exciting, but now I don't have to go ahead and I don't have to pay for postage. I don't have to get that or my PS2 anymore. It's coming to PC as an Epic Store exclusive, thanks to the benevolent wishes of Square Enix, who's sprinkled fairy dust out on us. Kingdom Hearts 1, right? I feel like the time between now and Kingdom Hearts 1, it really hasn't been as long as I'd like to think it is. Kingdom Hearts 1 was a 2013 title, right? It's been so... I feel like it's been so long since I've thought about Kingdom Hearts 1 that it hasn't really... the game has aged well, too. It's hard to nail down exactly what's up. But evidently, we're going to see Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. Right? 3 being almost... I think it was a PlayStation 5 or 4 or 5 exclusive at this point, right? We're going to see all those, plus Chains of Memories, right? Which is the card game that follows the original Kingdom Hearts storyline. I can't exactly nail down what that game actually is about. I could not tell you what that game is about, right? But we're getting the mainline entries of Kingdom Hearts. People can play it on PC. We're probably going to see 1 billion streams of them back to back. I'm probably going to stream it. I think the only unfortunate part is that there's going to be a little bit of grumbling because it's going to be an Epic Store exclusive, right? Which is, I think the entire Epic Store argument is like a lame duck argument. There's no weight behind it. There's no reason to be angry that it's there, because this is coming from someone who, back once upon a time, back in the after before time, when I was a little bad, if you dared to say anything about game consoles, it's about as that was the big political button of the day. It didn't have anything to do with party lines. It crossed party lines. It was bilateral. It's like, but did you play N64 or did you have the PS1, right? And if you said anything about it, you'd be gutted in the street like a fish. these these small fights would break out in middle school. These people would bring out their safety scissors, and someone would die, and it was unfortunate about that. That's just how the console wars was.
Believe me, the number of wave race related deaths was through the roof.
There's so many, and don't get me started about the Crash Bandicoot fandom.
The great Crash Bandicoot War of 2003.
They hunted people in the streets. but Brett, the thing is that, and you know what's up, and we know about that.
Yeah.
The Epic exclusive thing. If you want any game that's on the Epic game, you just got to go download the store. It's fine. If you don't want to do it, then that's fine. You can send any angry emails about what I just said directly to my old Hotmail account that I do not check anymore, and you will not get a response back. If you can find it, that's where you do it. Brett, what do you think about Kingdom Hearts? Someone tried to tell about Kingdom Hearts to you.
We talked about this a little bit pre-show, and you know what you're doing by bringing this up. You're opening a can of worms here, my friend.
I want that.
All right.
That can of worms.
All right. So here's how this went down. I'm hanging out in a VC one day, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts," and I made the horrid mistake of saying, I never really knew much about Kingdom Hearts. What's that all about? And someone attempted to explain it to me, and when you get 2 hours into a conversation and you've yet to mention that Final Fantasy characters are real and exist in this universe, this person broke me for a solid hour and a half of just like post conversation trying to wrap my head around the events they've just explained. And I've dumbed it down to the Kojima effect. There is a game director out there whose name I cannot think of at the moment, who is the first Kingdom Hearts did really well, and then nobody was able to tell him no about anything ever. And so the man went wild, clearly. There are card games that have actual plot relevant stuff in them, apparently. There's, I get so angry with game studios like Valve and Nintendo, who are kind of protective of their IPs and won't just let them appear anywhere at any time. Then I look at this and realize how many of these games exist and how absolutely batshit insane the storyline is for most of this. And it just, apparently, a fact that was told to me recently is that if you cut out every time the names Sora, Donald, and fucking Goofy, I am fucking throwing all my words out at this point. If you cut out the names of the three main characters for this whole fucking thing and leave the rest of the game, you lose 80% of the dialogue, apparently. That is secondhand knowledge that I cannot confirm, but I think it's funny, so I'm saying it anyway. But no, this tore me asunder for like a good while of just trying to figure out what a Kingdom Hearts is, how it works. I barely can comprehend what a Keyblade is and how those work. And maybe it was just poorly explained to me, but it sounds like no one could possibly ever hope to explain all of that in one sitting.
So I found a timeline.
Oh god, they tried to explain the timeline to me too.
I'm just posting it to you in Discord. Look at this timeline. Try to understand this timeline.
I will look at it. I will glance.
Peek at it and go blind.
I don't
peek at it and die.
What do the colors mean? Why are there so many of them?
Those are different game entries.
Oh, okay.
So and
wait,
the thing is
those are. Why does part of one game stop at the beginning of the timeline and come back a little over halfway through? What?
Yeah, welcome to it.
What?
Welcome to it, idiot. Welcome to it, idiot. Welcome to it, idiot. Welcome to it, idiot.
What is that dark blue line there that means absolutely nothing? I will not be putting this on screen for the viewers. You will just have to be bewildered with me by extension.
You can find this on the wiki.
It exists.
You can find this on the wiki.
It's out there.
This on the wiki. It's out there.
Oh,
And guess what? Kingdom Hearts 2 has like 18 titles, including something called Kingdom Hearts VR, which is out there. You can play it in VR. You can play that game as is.
oh my god.
Uh,
I thought you just, for some reason, I misheard you and thought you said Kingdom Hearts DDR, and I was gonna fucking lose it. All right,
no, that's you're thinking about drop distance.
I'm what?
You're
I'm
thinking about that.
Oh my
There's
god.
also there's a Kingdom Hearts DDR. Would not surprise me.
What
Right?
do you? What?
Hey,
Okay, all right.
This is one of those series that's where someone will be like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, you think that's?" Oh,
Listen,
you think,
this whole
oh,
thing. I could almost swear that the explanation of this series that I was given is just a really drawn out improv about a thing that doesn't exist, where the only tactic they use is yes and. All right.
Yes, exactly. Now, this Kingdom Hearts is the epitome of the game. Someone says, "Oh, you're a fan of Kingdom Hearts." I just realized that Kingdom Hearts 2 was released in 2002. I'm an idiot. Hey, no, Kingdom Hearts 1 was released in 2002, not 2013. Hey, hold up a second. Clap. This is the epitome of that meme where like, "Oh, you're a Kingdom Hearts fan? Name every Kingdom Hearts," and someone just starts screaming at the top of their lungs every single title for the game. Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Coded, Kingdom Hearts 5 to 68 divided by 2 days. Wait, what?
I've heard that title too, and that one I still don't understand that title and how that operates.
Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts X, Kingdom Hearts X, Unchained X, Kingdom Hearts Dark Roads.
X Unchained X? Is that the actual title, or did you flub just there?
Yes, that's the actual title.
Oh!
Of Memory. By the way, that's the rhythm-based game that I was talking about. That is the DDR.
God damn it.
Hey, did you know that Kingdom Hearts also had a VCast version where Verizon Wireless's broadband service did it for a couple of days?
A VCast?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like that I have to learn what a VCast is for this.
It's a limited release game that was online only for very specific services.
Oh,
right?
so it's gone now, right?
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, thank God.
I guess it was. Who knows? It probably was important. It probably was important.
Like I clown on Kingdom Hearts a little bit, but at the same time, and this goes for you and any other Kingdom Hearts fan listening. You guys have amazing mental fortitude to put up with this.
Kingdom Hearts Mobile, Kingdom Hearts VR Experience.
Marble?
Yeah, but by the way, clap. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 remix.
1.5? I don't.
Oh, don't worry about it. We also have Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 remix.
Huh?
Hold up a second. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
2.8? Final
Yeah,
Chapter
2.8.
Prologue? What? Those are just words. Those don't even mean anything.
Oh, you think that's cute? Check this out. Kingdom Hearts 3 also includes right. Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind coming out in 2020.
Remind. Why did you say? Is it remind or is it remind?
No, it's Remind.
Hold on a minute.
Hey, Kingdom Hearts 3 Dawn Till Dusk. Kingdom Hearts 3 Midnight Blue Keyblade. Wait, that might actually just be like. No, that's a video game.
There's a colon in it?
Yeah.
There's a colon in remind? As in, like, reply mind? What? I don't... Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll accept this. Alright.
And there's probably DLC happening too, which is very exciting.
That is not even... There being a colon in that title is not even, like, in the top 10 of the craziest things I've heard about Kingdom Hearts.
Hey, let's... So, and the thing is that that other game that I was talking about, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, there's also been spin-offs of a lot of the games that were out there. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories was originally released on the Game Boy Advanced, and now we've got Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which is the PS2, and the one that is coming to Epic Games Store. So if you want to enjoy that, you want to open that, that's the way to go. Check it out on Epic and throw myself down a well.
Amazing. I'm glad I'm glad we eventually got there in the end. Is that it for Kingdom Hearts, or do we have more Kingdom Hearts
Until
stuff to talk about here?
until Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, we or whatever the hell else, like 3.5. We'll see a 3.5. I can guarantee it.
Hmm.
It's out there. It's coming.
They're
Hey,
gonna start making up new numbers for this fucking thing anytime now. Like I can feel it in my bones. They're gonna come out with a number like Shmoo or something that is between 2 and 3. I don't.
ready for Shmoo?
I'm
Hey,
not ready for Kingdom Hearts Shmoo.
Fox, listen. I appreciate everything you do, but let's go and steady your heart. Let's talk
All
about
right.
something that you're into. Hey, Vox,
The craft.
if you're such a Minecraft fan, name every block.
Oh god. Do not put me through this. You madman, you rat bastard. All right.
I'm a jackass, but
All right,
seriously,
no,
what's
yeah.
going on with Minecraft? Let's go
Okay,
talk-
all right. Something to bring down the show a little bit from this high we're having currently in terms of energy. Minecraft
dream.
Snapshot 21W, whatever week of the year it is, came out somewhat recently. I have the snapshot name right here. Why did I say that? 20W06A. Came out, and it's compatible with old maps, and it includes new terrain generation. It's all caves all the time, baby. They're using a new noise cave generation system, and it makes bigger, wider caves and shows off the new generation. The world is now taller and deeper by 64 blocks each, making the total Y-axis build range 384 blocks. That is a huge amount of space to work in if you clear it out. I'm excited to see what people do with the extra amount of sky that we have. I'm excited to see what people do with the extra amount of underground. There's so many possibilities that are opened up by this happening. And, I don't know. Every time I see one of these Minecraft snapshots, I'm always like, yeah, hit me up when they remove Silverfish from the game. But no. This snapshot has new caves. It's adjusting underground structures like strongholds and mine shafts to fit the newer caves if they spawn within them, and it's gonna be great. Looks good. They added aquifers, which are little water pockets in the ground that you can cut into that look really annoying to bump into, by the way. And those aren't in their permanent locations yet, but they are close to how they're gonna be in the final build. And one more thing. They added, they don't have the biomes or the new monsters in yet, which kind of sucks that those aren't here yet, but hey, those are supposed to be coming in the coming weeks, and that's gonna be great. But can we talk about how Mojang handles snapshots releases instead of saying, like, because nobody would be mad at them. Nobody would be mad at them if they were like, hey, 1.17 is coming next summer. See you next summer when it drops. But no, they keep us week to week, pretty much. Just, here's a new snapshot. Here are the things we're working on. Please give us feedback for them. You know, and interacting with the community and taking feedback from the community on, hey, it would be cool if this feature could do this, or if that were there. And they'd be like, yeah, that's neat. We might do that. And Mojang is very active with their community and listening as a whole and making things work nicely. And it's cool that the snapshot system exists. I think the snapshot system really exemplifies how much they value the community, because again, without the community, Minecraft would not still be going right now. And that's amazing to see that they acknowledge that and keep the game alive and healthy with snapshot updates week to week.
I think the concept of snapshot update is underappreciated as far as designs go, game designs at least, because there's so much you can do from time to time. But I don't think people play around with releasing unpolished, unfinished bits of their game for people who actively play them. It honestly feels like a
Mm-hmm.
what some multiplayer games need to see at the end of the day, right? Because I think other multiplayer games could benefit a lot from having these little bite-sized improvements or bite-sized snippets for that, because you won't run into a situation where someone will be angry at the game for being unfinished or a patch will come out that's bad because it's a snapshot. This has been basically like community beta tested by like the entire community. That
Right.
would be even I've participated in a snapshot, and I'm incredibly lazy. I am so lazy, right? That I was able to go and participate in the snapshot, and I had fun. That was I think it was a mountain biome. The first time that the snow biomes were being released way back when.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which that's saying something. That was a while ago. I haven't participated since. But the entire fact we have like Terraria could benefit that. I think there's a handful of other games that could benefit from that if they have like an active multiplayer scene. And I think that's really what keeps a lot of our these multiplayer games that are community driven. Um, these multiplayer games that are community driven will be a lot more, I guess, like healthy if there was something that Minecraft did. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
also, I would almost argue that's half the reason why, bit of a jump, Fortnite is as popular as it is because
Yeah.
it gets updated all the time. It gets updated all the time, you know?
Yeah.
God,
I'm
but
sure if I'm sure if Minecraft were the same game it was when 1.0 came out in Jesus 2013, 2012 now. Ugh, that I don't like to think about that. Um but if it were the exact same game as it was at that point in time and they just said, "Well, there's the full release. It's done. It's gone. Outside of bug fixes, we are done developing this game. See you later. I'm going to go live on my $1 million yacht that I got for building this game that everyone loves."
if only. But
This game would have been dead years ago. Like just dead in the ground. People would still play it and talk about it, but for the most part it'd be out of the public consciousness, you know? But with things like updates and especially snapshot updates being as frequent as they are and adding small new features, be it albeit like most of them aren't game changers, but it's nice to boot up the game every week and be in a snapshot world and realize, oh, something as small as a candle could have been added, or maybe they added something as big as what they did last time, where they dropped most of the new Nether stuff on us all at one time. Um, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. It's a nice little thing to come back to. That on top of things like things that they implemented in their development cycles, like the April Fools snapshots or the Halloween snapshots, where they goof around a little bit with the idea of a snapshot and then revert it the next week, obviously. But they do cool little things like that, and it's interesting to see how they play around with that sort of thing. And it seems like the dev team is having just as much fun as the community is, and I feel like we take for granted, as the Minecraft community, we take for granted being able to have those week to week updates to see and experience what the dev team is working on.
Hmm. I
But
like that. I'm
but
enjoying that.
but no, yeah, that's just about it in terms of this week's snapshot. Something else I want to talk about that people definitely didn't take for granted and is now in the ground where it belongs. Rat, you got things to say about Google Stadia, do you?
Oh boy. Oh boy, let's go ahead and bury the hatchet. Hey, Google Stadia is bad. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed
Yeah.
that? Who would have thought that Google Stadia, the only console on Earth that you can have a 500 ms delay on a single player game, right? Who would have guessed that would probably not go the way that you're expecting it to? That these guys are probably not producing that good of content. Now, the idea of Google Stadia is cool. I like the idea of the Google Stadia a lot. Right?
Yeah.
It's in on paper, if you were to say that, hey, you don't even need like a huge console, you just play this monthly subscription, you can get games beamed right to whatever. I'd be like, bam, that's cool as hell. I already like Game Pass, right? Guess what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work very well. And while they had a robust in-house studio, I don't think they made any games. And as of this week, the in-house studio is defunct. It has been shuttered. They're not producing any more in-house content for Google Stadia, which is, I think, a sign of the times, right? I think that is the writing on the wall, the piece de resistance, the little cherry on top of that is the Sunday that is Google Stadia's grave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's the end. I
Yeah.
in I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It recently even lost Terraria due to some unsavory nonsense. Terraria's YouTube channel, the creator of Terraria's YouTube channel, their Gmail, their all the information that's behind them, right? So as like their signups and stuff like that, has been locked. All the videos are locked behind a wall now. They've essentially been banned from Google services. I'm not entirely sure about the details of why or what. It's probably either someone had goofed up and Google's not willing to assist them with that one or all that. But because of that one, they also lost Terraria. They lost a really fantastic game that probably could have done a lot for the platform, but unfortunately, and with those fighting words, he said that this is not a dispute. We're officially burning bridges. That's incredible, and it's been over 2 weeks. It's been over 2 weeks that that happened. So I think that's how it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm. I do want to
Um,
mention that this is probably going to stop other companies from attempting streaming services for video games, which should be held off on for the moment until internet speeds overall are better. But I feel like there's a lot of potential in the streaming market of video games in terms of cloud computing and whatnot. Because there's going to come a time where you won't really need like 50 consoles connected and you can just stream the games directly. But I feel like you are, by doing that, even though that does seem to be the way the industry will go eventually, you're robbed of, oh, I got this nice physical copy of a game and it's in a steel book. It's really nice. It came with a little figurine. It's a collector's edition. I feel like you're going to get robbed of putting the disc in or putting the cartridge in for the first time and trying out the game.
I'm kind of feeling that, right? Because you're right. That kind of like, again, me and Vox are old boys at this point. We're falling to dust at this point. But we used to have the tacky N64, plastic tap 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 cartridges. We messed around with CDs. You probably owned a GameCube at one point in time. You had
I
those mini CDs.
I currently have a GameCube
Well,
sitting within eye line of me, actually.
but either way, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of these tactile, like physical senses when it comes to gaming, are slowly being phased away, for better or for worse. I mean, I know I have a handful of N64 games that just straight up don't work anymore, right? Um, for one reason or another, they burnt out, or like something got damaged in them, or got dropped one too many times, and they just stopped working. Um, there's a certain quality with the tactile sense of touching games, right, and handling the peripherals and such like that come with gaming. But we're looking at a new era of digital entertainment with the streaming services. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if anyone's really going to miss putting in a CD. But for I guess like nostalgia purposes, I don't know. Maybe they should just bring back cartridges. Fuck it. maybe
I
maybe they should bring back bulky cartridges. I would love that.
I would be down, but I also want to say that like even outside of us being old fashioned and just thinking, hey, the tactile feel of opening a game for the first time or even like the millionth time and slipping it into a slot somewhere and playing the game. For convenience reasons, I like my games digital at this point, but I don't know if I'd be ready to pay for a game over a service like Google Stadia if I had to buy the games individually through the service, because at that point you are buying a license to use a piece of software as long as the servers that keep saying that you have that software are up. But as soon as something like Google Stadia does what it did recently and just completely dies out, that kind of makes your license to use that software illegitimate, and you spend $60 on a game that you can no longer play.
That's really saying something. I mean, but that is the trouble with this I guess like this whole thing. We're looking at digital media being the king of it all. But who's to say that Steam is going to last forever, right? Who's to say that the Epic Games Store is going to last forever? Stadia certainly didn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
The idea that these services are going to last for a long time, for sure, right? There's probably going to be several decades in which Steam is going to be a household name, being the PC equivalent of Nintendo or whatever we want to go and call it for. Right? There's my hot take for the day. You can put that and put it in your wall. But
Yeah.
if those servers ever shut down, that's it. Your investments are gone, and there are clauses in the TOS that say, "Hey, you can't do that, right? You can't sue us for shutting down our service, right?"
Yeah.
So I think that's going to go ahead and put into something that I want to bring up to onto definitely next week's thing. Gaming preservation is becoming more of a thing too, which I think is really exciting, right? And that might be something that we need to touch next time. I think that's a very cool topic.
I would be totally down for that. And maybe we could get a little bit more into this discussion also. We kind of hit it late in the episode, but there's still a lot of ground to cover there, I feel like. But for now, it's about time that we wrap up. We are about 55 minutes into the episode. Now would be a great time to hit up the outro, don't you think?
Go and wrap your mind around this one. You know, go and brush it off. Thank you again for coming to Control Slot B, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Vux, what do you got to say? What do you got to say about this?
I do want to go ahead and say that you can find the show on all audio platforms where you can find a podcast, pretty much. Or if you want a direct list of those platforms, you can go to anchor.fm/controllerslotb to find our Anchor page, which will have the episodes listenable and will have links to things like Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, Breaker, anywhere you'd want to listen to the show. You can also find uploads of it on YouTube, on my personal YouTube account, Voxel64. There are plenty of episodes, like I mentioned at the top of the show. This is number 30, so there are 29 more of them if you want to go have a look. And there are probably like maybe 2 good ones in there if you look hard enough. But yeah, it's a good show. As much as I clown about it, I hope you enjoyed the show that you saw today. There will be a new one just about every Friday at noon. You can find the show uploaded on the platforms I just mentioned. As for me, you can find me on twitch.tv/Voxel64 or youtube.com/channel/Voxel64 or whatever format YouTube is using these days. How about you, Rat? Where can the people find you?
Hey, I'm mostly on Twitter and Twitch these days. You can go and look at me at a salty rat on Twitter, and you can go ahead and yell at me on twitch.tv/a salty rat. Where you can go ahead and see me play video games like Dark Souls 2, sci-fi games, and other nonsense as I continue to be a nasty little gremlin. Otherwise, just drop a link, yell at me, and we'll see how things go.
Send them a postcard.
Send me a postcard. Send me mail. Send me a nice recipe for chili.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and that will be the show for us today. Hey, Rat, fancy an awkward pause this week?
Listen, I don't deserve this. Don't do that to me. Don't. It's okay.